Welcome to Butler's Precision CAD CAM. Today we're going to take a look at creating the 3-jam part in Inventor. The things that we're going to be focusing on today is we're going to be focusing on constraining geometry for the points for drilling and pocketing. We're going to use circular pattern, we're going to offset, and we're going to select the origin from our stock box point. A little different than we're used to. We're going to come back and take a look at this note that's up here once we get to those sections on the part itself. Taking a look at this, we can see that we're going to be using our rectangle tool for this first geometry we're going to be creating, and it is going to be a rectangle that is 3 inches horizontal by 3 inches vertical. Okay, come along. This is the 3-jam. Let's go up to the orange file in the top left hand corner of the screen and select New. We're going to choose standard.ipt and click Create. And then we're going to take a 2D drawing, 2D sketch, place it on our XY plane, and click Front in our World View Cube. And let's start with that rectangle tool. Lock onto our origin, get our green dot, click, stretch it out to the upper right hand quadrant. Our horizontal dimension was 3. Press the Tab key on the keyboard. Our vertical dimension was 3 also, and press Enter on the keyboard. Green check mark, Finish Sketch. Let's click Home in our World View Cube to zoom all, and let's go back and reference our part. So we have 3 inches by 3 inches. Now we need that extrusion depth. We're going to find that on the right side view here. 0.375 is that extrusion distance. So let's take an extrude. We want that orange arrow going away from us. So we're going to click our flip direction, and we're going to change that to 0.375, and then click OK. Next, let's take a look at our part. We have these 4 holes that are in the corner of our rectangle, and on our note that's down here, you can see that we have, to create the 4 points in the corner, we're going to dimension matching the ones that are listed, and then we're going to use the constraints to align the other points. So that's with our horizontal and vertical constraint. Okay? So let's do that. Let's take a 2D sketch, place it on our front view, click Front in our World View Cube, and we're going to take and use our point tool to place those points, 1 in each of the corners. Okay? Now, next we need to dimension those. So let's press Escape to let go of the point tool and reference our drawing again. This top point in the top left corner is 0.25 in from the top and down from the top and in from the side. Let's start with those dimensions first. 0.25. So dimension from the top to the point. Bring that out to the side. 0.25 is the dimension. Press Enter on the keyboard or a green check mark in that window. And once again, left hand side, dimension tool, left hand side to our point. Bring this up. 0.25 is this dimension as well. For our next dimension for this point over here, let's take a look at that. 0.275 from the left hand side to the center of that point. So let's dimension left hand side to the center of that point, and this dimension is 2.75, green check mark. And let's see what other dimensions we have for these holes. We have 0.25 from the bottom up for this hole here, so let's place that dimension from the bottom to our point. 0.25, and green check marker, Enter on the keyboard. Alright, next, press Escape to let go of the tool, and now from our note that's here, we're going to use constraints to align the other points. So in our constraint area, we're going to find our horizontal constraint again. That looks like a feather kind of with a laying horizontally. So we want to click our top left hand point, top right hand point, and that's going to bring that point up. We're going to click our bottom left hand point, bottom right hand point, and that's going to bring that other point into alignment. Next, we need to press Escape on the keyboard to let go of the horizontal constraint, and we're going to choose our vertical constraint next. And we're going to click our top left, bottom left, and that's going to align those two. And then we're going to click our top right and our bottom right to align those as well. Green check mark, Finish Sketch. Now let's take a look at what we're going to do for the holes. For the holes, we need to find a note. Here it is. The note says we have 4 holes, 0.25 diameter, and it goes all the way through. So back on our part, let's go use our hole tool. We want to have a simple hole with no seat. We want to change the termination distance from distance to through all. It looks like a stack of pancakes with a fork stabbed in the middle of it. And we want to change our diameter here to 0.25 and click OK. Excellent. Next, you can take a look at our part here. We have this square in the background done. We're going to take this circle and extrude it out. There's an inside and an outside to the circle. The inside diameter is right here at 1.5 and the outside diameter is right here at 2.5. So that's next for us. So let's take a 2D sketch, place it on our front view. Click front in our world view cube to zoom all and center it on our screen, and we're going to use our circle tool next. We're going to place a circle and we're going to stretch this out for the inside diameter of 1.5. Press enter on the keyboard. Press the escape key. Now we have to take a look at positioning this on our part. The center of this circle, the center of this part, is 1.5 in from the side and 1.5 down from the top. So let's get our dimension tool. Let's click the top of our part. When it turns red, click to select it, and we want the center point turned red on our circle. Bring this dimension out to the side. This is 1.5 for that dimension. Enter on the keyboard or a green check mark. Then we're going to choose the left-hand side of our part and the center point of that circle again. Bring this dimension up. This dimension is also 1.5. Enter on the keyboard or a green check mark. Okay. Next, the outside circle. Our outside circle out here is 2.5 inches, 2.5 for the diameter. So let's go create that one as well. We're going to use our circle tool, lock onto the center point, that's the center of that circle, bring this out, and this circle was 2.5 in diameter. Press enter on the keyboard. Green check mark, finish sketch, and now we're going to take and extrude that. Taking a look at our drawing for this extrusion, we find that on the side view. We can see that this from our square out for our circle is 0.375 for our extrusion distance. So we're going to get our extrude tool from the ribbon bar at the top. We want to click our shape, our geometry in here that makes it look like a donut, not the inside. We want the outside. Looks like a donut. And we're going to change our extrusion distance to 0.375. And then click OK. Hey, we've got a great start on it so far. Let's see what's next. Next, we're going to create these holes that are in here. So in order to do that, if you take a look at our note that's down here, it says create the top hole and then use circular pattern to make the other holes. Okay, we can do that next. So we're going to create this first hole up here. We're going to place a point, and that point is going to be 1.5 in from the side and 0.375 down from the top. So we're going to take a 2D sketch, place it on our place it on our front view, and click front in our world view cube to zoom all and center that on our screen. We're going to use our point tool from the create section in our ribbon bar. Click a point up here towards the top at the 12 o'clock position as it would be on a clock, and we're going to dimension from the top of our part to the point. Bring that dimension out to the side, and this dimension is 0.375. Green check mark. We also are going to dimension from the left-hand side of our part to that point we created, and this dimension is 1.5. Green check mark. And now we're going to take and finish sketch. Going back to our drawing, we're going to use our hole tool. So now we need a specification for the holes that are here. Right here it is. We have 6 holes that are 0.125 in diameter and 0.375 deep. 125 diameter, 0.375 deep. So back on our part, we're going to take our hole tool. It should automatically choose that point that's there. We want to have a simple hole with no seat. We want to change it to a distance icon right here for the termination behavior. And we want to change our depth to 0.375. And we want to change our diameter to 0.125 and then click OK. When we were on Jam 2, we used circular pattern in order to circular pattern the sketch geometry going around. Now we're going to use circular pattern to circular pattern a feature going around. So let's take a look at our note here. It says 6 holes, 0.125 and 0.375 deep. Create the top hole, then use circular pattern to make the other holes. Back on our part, going up to our pattern section in our ribbon bar, we're going to choose circular pattern. First it wants us to choose the feature. That's the hole that's here. If you have to, you can zoom in to select that. Then we're going to go to our second pick tool that's down here. That's our rotation axis. And we're going to choose the outside of the largest circle on our part for the geometry. We want to have a total of 6 holes, so change our count to 6. We want our rotation degrees to be 360 degrees, and then click OK. And there's our 6 holes going around there. That looks awesome. Let's go back to our geometry, our sketch, and we can see that we have this oil ring going around here as well. And here we're going to take and create the inside of the oil ring, which is 1.63. And then we're going to choose the offset tool and offset it 0.125. So let's go back to our sketch and do that. Take a 2D sketch, place it on the front view of our part. Click front in our world view cube to zoom all. That centers it on our sheet. And we're going to use our circle tool and we're going to snap onto the center point of our sketch. Stretch this out. This diameter was 1.63. Press enter on the keyboard. And now we're going to choose our offset tool. And our offset tool we are going to use to offset 0.125. Okay? So we're going to use our offset tool right here from the modify section. We're going to choose that circle we created. Go to the outside of the circle, not to the inside. And we're going to make that a distance of 0.125 and then press enter on the keyboard. Green check mark, finish sketch. And we're going to take and extrude. We're going to extrude, and referencing our drawing, we can see here that we want it to go 0.06, and also it's listed here 0.06 for that depth. So we're going to take and extrude, select that area in there, that O-ring groove, and we're going to change the flip direction so it cuts, and we're going to change our distance to 0.06 and then click OK. So now we have our O-ring groove in there. Let's see if we're missing anything else. Looks like we have all the different geometry drawn for our parts. Let's change our material by going up to above our ribbon bar and clicking the default section, and we're going to scroll down until we find the O's, and we're going to choose orange. That looks great. Let's go up to the orange file in the top left hand corner of our screen, and we're going to click on Save As. We're going to put this into our H drive, first initial last name 000, and we're going to change the file name to 3 Jam, and click Save. Awesome on creating the 3 Jam part. We'll see you in the next video where we create the tool path to cut this on the CNC mill.